Hey everybody, welcome back to Big Red EDC and welcome to another edition of Channel Chat. Today with me, I have the Knife Dude. What's up,
Hey
man?
guys.
What's going on?
Not much. I'm just sitting here with you and a bunch of knives.
Yeah, there we go. Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That,
Definitely is.
that's what we're here for. So very, very cool. So how's things been going, man?
Going well. As you know, some of our viewers don't. I work with, or I somewhat run the Black Widow pass around, and so we've been working, or we have some artisan knives going around and some Kubi knives going around, which is pretty awesome.
That
Which
is
I'm really
awesome.
excited to handle.
That is cool. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. You got the whole thing, you got the whole ball rolling kind of with we were the concept for a while. We had some concept knives, and then that kind of, whatever the case may be,
Yeah.
kind of ended. But then, man, you picked it right up with artisan and Kubi, and that's awesome, man. Like I
You
said.
know, we had the group together. It just seemed like a waste not to make it a pass around.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, I hear you. That's awesome. So very cool. So what can you give us a what's all going around? What do you got out there right now?
So right now I have the Tops Bob in 1095.
Uh-huh.
I would like to take a second. Let me just see if I can focus. No, I don't think it'll show on camera, but I put that mirror. I mirrored the edge freehand.
Oh, did you really?
I did.
Nice.
Then I have a Bradford Guardian 3 in M390.
Mm-hmm.
A Medford Infraction, which was loaned to me by Chris over at Titanium Addiction.
Okay.
Which I thought was S35VN, but people are telling me it's D2 because there is a D on the blade. And so I'm just going to go ahead and say it's D2.
Okay.
And then a ZT0920.
Very cool. Very cool. I like the color scheme on the tops, of course.
Oh yeah, it's pretty.
So
it's nice.
give us a little rundown on it if you don't mind. What's
On the
the
tops?
Yeah, what's the overall length on that one?
The overall length, geez, I don't pay attention to. Maybe it's weird, and I don't know if it's just me. I don't pay attention to overall length. I really only ever pay attention to blade length, and usually just kind of assume the handle will be big enough.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And just look at it in people's hands. Because length isn't always like the factor, you know.
Oh no.
For example, the Elementum fits great in somewhat medium to large hands.
Yeah.
It's a pretty small knife.
Yeah.
And then you could have a bigger knife that just doesn't fit in smaller hands well.
Oh well, yeah, for sure. It looks like it's a decent sized knife, though. I was thinking maybe.
Oh, it's a. Here's my hand. It's a big knife.
Yeah. No, I like the Bradford too. Bradford makes some really, really nice knives.
That's my first Bradford, and my first kind of like time learning about them. I was watching a Blade HQ video. I think it was something on EDC Fixed Blades. And someone there was carrying a Bradford Guardian 3, and since I watched that video like a year ago, or I think it was about a year ago, I've always kind of had this fascination with the Guardian 3 just because it's got a nice leather sheath. Wait, now where is that? There it is. It's got a nice leather sheath. And what I'm actually amazed by, so you can see that, or you've handled their sheaths, I assume.
Yeah,
they're pretty good quality, right?
Oh yeah.
This leather sheath to get like a replacement or just on their website is $10.
Really?
Really?
Oh, that's not bad at all.
By that.
Yeah. Now, see, I don't own any Bradfords. I haven't owned any Bradfords, but I've handled several, looked at several. Yeah, the knives, the sheaths, that's really, I mean, $10 for a replacement sheath. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Have you carried the Bradford, the Guardian 3?
No, I have not.
Would you like to?
I'd love to check it out. Sure, at some point. Yeah.
Then I'll send it to you with the Medford.
Oh, yeah. That's right. You've got the Medford. You had the Medford out there, and
yeah, I'll put it back on screen.
And that's you said that comes from Chris, right?
That does.
Yeah, and I like the overall profile of that knife, and it's funny, the Bradford, if you look at the blade profile on the Bradford, and
Oh yeah,
they're pretty similar. They've got a
the
fairly
blades
similar.
really. I never thought about that.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
would
mean,
just
really, if the grind wasn't like the grind looks very different on here, but if you change
right.
the grinds on them, they could essentially be very, very similar.
Yeah, when you just laid it out there, I was like, oh dang, man, those blades are really, really close.
I never put that together, but that's interesting.
I like that blade shape too. I like that overall blade profile.
Yeah, no, it's nice and it's pointy and it's a strong tip,
Yeah.
which I like. Because when I carry a fixed blade, a lot I shoot archery,
Yep.
and so it's called a 3D shoot, and so basically me and a bunch of buddies will go out on a hiking trail essentially, but on the hiking trail every call it 30 feet or whatever, there is a target, and that target can be some of them are 30 yards away, some of them are 110 yards away. Um, and we'll go out and shoot, but sometimes if you're shooting at 110 yards with a traditional bow, um, you're not going to be the most accurate pinpoint. And so if you happen to land it in a tree, you have to really dig out that arrow.
Yeah.
And I have snapped a few tips,
Oh yeah.
which is no fun, but it's all right.
Yeah. I'm just looking at them, and man, that's kind of crazy that it worked out that way. Now, what's your? I know you just put your review up of the infraction. It's up on the channel, Knife
I
Dude.
did.
Everybody, make sure you check it out. I'll put a link down in the description for sure. But I, what's your thought? What's your overall thought on? Is this? Do you have much experience with Medford knives? Let's start there. Is this the first one? Is
This is
this
my
like
first experience with Medford.
okay, okay,
But from this first experience, it didn't leave a great impression.
okay?
But not that it's just it didn't fit the price for me. I can appreciate a $600 knife. Sabenzas, Ariuses, Grimm's Norsemans. I can appreciate their both mechanical value and also just their function. Just their values in beauty.
Right,
Um,
right.
I should say in machining value. And in Medford's it's $600 and it's a D2 blade with D2, which I have a problem with it being a D2 blade. I thought it was S35VN, which I was fine with.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I'm finding out that it's C2, I don't think that's okay for spending $600 on a knife.
Well, see, I find there's probably two camps for Medford. Yes and no. I mean, really, I mean, yeah, they're great. They're USA made. My thing with them is they're just too heavy and bulky.
Oh, it's heavy. Um,
I
and
mean,
weight. Sorry.
it usually doesn't. I mean, I don't mind carrying a heavier knife. 5 ounce. Sometimes you're doing jobs that require a heavier duty knife like that, but
Yeah.
dang, when you're
You know,
talking, I don't even. Did you weigh that one? Do you remember what it was?
I did not, but I don't care about the knife's weight just because I don't. It doesn't bother me.
All right.
I care about how well it carries.
Yeah.
And so this is a 4-inch frame lock from ZT. Okay.
Right.
Titanium frame lock.
Yeah.
Let me show you the thickness. Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it is beefy.
Oh yeah. I mean, Medford's known for being overbuilt.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's
they're
just what they
tanks.
are. That's just what they are. And for me, it's just yeah, it's just not something I would ever it's just not
EDC.
something I would ever care. Well, yeah, I definitely wouldn't carry it. They're just too big and bulky for me. Now, a lot of people like them, and that's cool. That's their thing. It's just way too big for me.
Yeah.
It's just they're just way too big. I do like the overall profile of it. I like the way
It is
it
pretty.
looks. And I'm
The Vulcan finish on the blade.
yeah,
Oh,
the
it's
finish
pretty.
looks good. That everything about that, in construction, I know it's well made and all that stuff. It's just too big. It's
Yeah.
just too big for me to carry.
The fact that it was so big wasn't the problem for me. As I said before, big knives aren't. I have small hands, but I like carrying a big knife just because I don't know. I just do. It's something that I enjoy.
Yeah.
But on the Medford, there's a couple hot spots, and they're pretty bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll show you right here. See if I can point them out. So first, see right there where the stop pin goes when it's closed?
Yeah. Yep.
Right there, when you're using the choil, that corner can actually be really sharp when you're like, I guess, tightening your grip backwards.
Sure. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and it really pokes your finger and it's not comfortable. Um, and then you also have the same thing, but on the back side, because the way the lock bar is in,
Mm-hmm.
the edges in here aren't chamfered.
Okay.
And so it just pokes you and it's not really comfortable. Um, and when I saw it online, I thought, oh, that's going to be an ergonomic masterpiece.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for me, it wasn't.
And that's, and like, and you go back to talking. I mean, you're looking at dropping some cash on a knife like that,
Yeah,
and to have those issues,
shouldn't be there.
yeah, I would think,
And I mean, I noticed a little bit of lock stick on there even. Um, and there's no over treble stop. Which it's not necessary, but I like having one just because it kind of makes your fingers stop.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
that which in the name. But it's more that it's consistent every time you open and close the knife, and so it just feels
Right.
better, I guess.
Right.
Um, but
No.
that's just a personal thing.
Oh yeah, and that's just it. It's all personal, It's all personal. Like I said,
Yeah.
some people like the bigger, heavier, chunky knives, and but that's just not. I Do I want to check it out? Of course I do, because I really like the profile. And now that you're talking about some things on it, I definitely would like to check that out and see, because it's much better if you see for yourself.
For sure.
But this definitely wouldn't be one that I would go drop that coin on just to
Yeah,
check
definitely
out
not.
and try to resell, because you could resell it fairly easily, I'm pretty sure, just because there's a lot of people out there that do want them,
But
do like them.
it's a lot of work to resell a knife.
It can be. Yeah, it can be.
It's also stressful, because what, most likely you're going to, but you never know.
Yeah.
I never buy a knife with the intention of reselling it.
Right. Right. No,
Um,
no. That's something I've really never done.
yeah,
I've never really bought a knife, like, say, like for reviews or whatever. I'm going to buy this knife to review and turn around and resell it. I haven't really done that. I mean, a lot of the knives I do buy for the channel to review, they're either I buy to keep them, or I buy them. They're going to eventually get given away, at some point
yeah,
on the channel, because, with SKL and doing the giveaways and all this stuff, that's just how I plan for it.
yeah, sure.
So, I mean, but yeah, like I said, I think Medfords are pretty polarizing,
Definitely.
knives. And I don't know if you're, well, and that makes sense, because I don't know how familiar you are with Greg Medford. Heard
Not
some
very.
of him, seen some of his. He can be a very polarizing. And trust me, Greg Medford doesn't give a damn what you and I think. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. If you'd have to know him, and I mean,
Yeah,
if people watch this and they've heard and they know, I mean, they're gonna agree. He doesn't care.
they're just nodding their heads.
Yeah, he's
Um,
just. I mean, that's just the person he is. He's gonna make what he's gonna make, because that's what he makes, and you either like it or you don't, and that's fine. That's great. I mean, that's just, it's his creation and it's his masterpiece. So that's exactly, in my opinion, that's exactly the way he should think. You know what I mean? You
yeah,
know?
I think if it's his, it's gonna be his knife.
Yeah,
It should be completely his. It shouldn't be.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But he's a very opinionated and strong-willed and boisterous. I mean, that's just his personality, you know. That's just his
Yeah.
personality. And but yeah, I love the finish. The finish
Oh,
looks
it's
cool.
pretty. Um. Oh, that reminds me. You see the pocket clip?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get close enough. Or back up and then zoom in. Can you see that it's not touching the scale?
Yeah. Yeah.
That shouldn't happen.
But what's retention like on it?
You know what? Let me put it in my pocket. because I haven't worn it with or haven't carried it with jeans.
Now, see, I've had a couple of knives where the clip didn't touch the scale, but it didn't affect the effective. It was close, but it didn't touch. Didn't
The
affect.
retention's pretty weak.
Is it?
Yeah.
It didn't affect. You know what I mean? It didn't affect the retention
Yeah.
just because the clip was, I guess, basically probably stiff enough, and it was just to that point where it was fine. So
Yeah, of course.
But in a case where if the retention isn't that great, and that's a heavy knife.
Oh, it is. It'll fall out of your pocket if you're doing somersaults for some reason.
Well, yeah, trust me, somersaults aren't anywhere near in my future. If I can avoid it at all costs.
No, neither.
But
But when I play around with my dogs, I have two dogs who are very energetic.
Yeah.
I have had knives come out of my pocket then.
Yeah, I can see that.
Then it shouldn't happen. It just shouldn't.
Well, yeah, I would agree. It's not supposed to.
Well, to an extent, of course.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You don't want your pocket clip being clamped down.
Right. Yeah. So what else did you have up there? Let's check out some other stuff you had to show us.
Right now, I actually have on the table the Civivi fracture. There we go. The fracture that I won from one of your SKLs.
Oh yeah, there you go. What do you think? What do you think of the fracture?
You know what? I think if it was a liner lock, I would carry it a lot more.
Yeah.
But because it isn't a liner lock, I don't carry it super often. Just because, not even that a slip joint's really gonna ever close on my hand. That's not how I use knives.
Right.
To where I'm really concerned. But it's just, I feel a lot more comfortable with a locking blade.
Okay. Yeah, and I know a lot of people are like that. I know a lot of people. That's a big reason why a lot of people don't carry traditional knives. The slip joints is because they're afraid of it closing on their fingers, and I totally understand that. My counterpoint was being, if you use a slip joint the way a slip joint is meant to be used, that shouldn't be an issue. But I get it.
You know what? I've never had one close on my hand ever. It's really just a mental thing.
Yeah, no, I get it. I totally get it. I've never had one close on me either like that. But I tell you what, if you're looking for one that, if you like the fracture, but would rather have a liner lock, you should really...
He makes one, right?
Check out the Sencut Sidious.
Really?
Because the Sencut Sidious is, that's obviously Civivi's. It's kind of, you have Civivi is budget Wii, while Sencut's kind of budget Civivi now.
Yeah. That does not make any sense to me.
Yeah, well, whatever. There's some few companies that are doing it now, and, whatever. It just, but that one is a liner lock, and it's very reminiscent. It's a flipper liner lock, and it is very reminiscent of the fracture.
Mm-hmm.
And what are they? I think they're like, I think they're high 30s, and I believe that one, is it that one 9CR? It's either 9CR or D2. Gosh darn it, I can't remember off the top of my head.
No, either way, it's similar, if not better, blade steel. This is, I think, 8CR. This is 8CR 14.
Yeah. So, if you're thinking about it and you actually, like it enough, we'll put it that way. The Sencut Sidious is one that you might want to check out.
Yeah.
Very similar. Yeah, that's the way the first two Sencuts that I had, the Sidious and the Actium, they were really heavily patterned after Civivi knives.
Yeah.
You had that one that looked like the fracture, and then the Actium was really, really reminiscent of the backlash.
Yes.
Me, I really thought. But then you had the Scepter. Now it's kind of its own animal, and I really like that. I don't have it with me. It's out. It's with a Lefty EDC at the moment, or I would show it. But yeah, it's. I hope they keep going on that, aspect. And like you said too, I've heard other people say, like why are they doing Sencut and stuff, and I think it's just because where they want to go with Civivi, they don't want to give up the 9CR
Their budget,
and so they're kind of
which I really like. The fact that they're starting to use S35VN and do some more higher end stuff, I guess.
Oh yeah, and I mean,
I think
the
awesome.
price point. If the price point stays where they're at, where these first ones are, I mean, Civivi's
like $80 for S35.
Yeah, Civivi's always been hard for people to keep up with. They just
awesome.
make a great knife. They make a really good knife. But if they start using S35 and 14C, it's just gonna be even that much harder for companies to compete with them in that price range.
And have you seen the new the coming soon new Civivis? The new the button lock Elementum?
Yeah, I did see that.
I am intrigued by that quite a bit.
I think a lot of people are. I really do. I think a lot of people. Now, I will be perfectly honest with you. I did not get the Elementum was a good knife. There's no question about it. But the hype behind it and just the I mean, that's pretty much all you heard for a while is Elementum, and you still do, really. Good knife. I don't know as if it's, in my opinion,
not your thing.
If it's not better. To me, it's just not better than some of the other ones they've put out. You know what I mean? Like the pintail they just put out. To me, that's much better than the Elementum.
Now, why do you like the pintail more? I
just like the feel. I like the overall blade. And that's the same thing. People are gonna see, well, why do you like the pintail? Because I do, same reason people like the Elementum. They just do,
Exactly.
It's all personal. It's all personal. It's just I wasn't on top of that wave like a lot of people were, Gotcha. Good knife. I'm not saying it's a bad knife. It's a good knife. It's just I didn't think it was as great as a lot of people did.
Of course.
And
now I've got a question.
Okay.
So I've talked about it a little bit on this channel. I'm not, I'm not big into slip joints. I don't carry them often.
Okay.
But I've never tried a detent lock. You know what that is? Where there's two detents.
Double detent.
So you can essentially use a flipper. Yeah, double detent.
Yeah, like the MBK EWC.
There's one Laconica, or maybe more, but I know of one Laconica design.
Yep, the EWC. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Civivi just came out with one.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's the EWC. Okay, I was thinking I got things mixed up.
No.
And I was looking.
The EWC is a Monterey Bay knives. It's a double detent. But yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Which is the Civivi one?
No. I don't. Oh, Civivi is coming out with a double detent.
No, I'm sure they have one.
They will. They do.
No.
They're coming. Oh, you mean already?
Already, because they have one in it's in S35 yen. It's like $80.
Oh, now I'm getting. Now I'm confused.
I'm on Blade HQ's website right now. Okay, it's the Appalachian Drifter.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, wait a minute.
And that's S35VN for $83. And my card.
This is funny, dude. This is funny. Dude, this just came today.
No.
Let's do this. Yeah. I haven't even taken it out of the box yet. There you go.
I assume you ordered it a little while ago and just forgot about it?
No, it's a pass-around knife.
Oh, really?
It just came today and I completely forgot about it. But yeah, it is. It's an Appalachian Drifter. You're totally right.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh my goodness. What a goober. But yeah.
Well, this just turned into an unboxing, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it did. Yeah, apparently. But yeah, indeed, it is. It's a double detent. You're right. And you know what? It might have been the one I was thinking about. Civivi puts out some darn many knives. But what's that? Oh, it's Gooby.
And they also have this actually in a. They also have it in a Damascus, which looks pretty cool.
No, see, I'm not crazy about Damascus. I'm not crazy about a Damascus.
Really?
That's just me. No, I am, especially if it's carbon fiber and Damascus. Yeah, it's just too much going on for me.
Really?
Like, yeah, to look
that
at it is. It's just,
hmm,
I mean, that's just my, that's my weirdness or whatever.
hmm.
But it's just too much for me going on for me.
In the Black Widow pass around, we have I'm sure you know, we have a Damascus Centauri going around.
Yep. Yep.
Is that also too confusing for you? Because it is carbon fiber. It's exactly what you said, carbon fiber in Damascus.
Yes.
Really?
I love my Carta Centauri with the satin blade, or
Yeah.
love that. But yeah, the carbon fiber, it's just, I don't know. It's just, I'm not. It's it has nothing to do with the knife itself. The
So then,
operability or
just
anything
the
of the knife.
aesthetic of it is a little complicated.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, then
Yep.
here's my next question.
Okay.
Elijah Isham designs.
Mm-mm.
Because he's his designs are very controversial. You either love him or you hate him.
Yeah, I would agree.
I love almost all of his designs. They're very artistic, but then they're also very functional. They just fit in the hand nicely. I'm actually pondering getting a Civivi McKenna.
Yeah. I don't
nice.
like. Now, for me, there again, it all comes down to aesthetics. Has nothing to do with the functionality of the knife. Not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea. Isham Designs, yeah.
That makes sense.
And and the other thing is with how his handles are shaped.
Yeah.
I find myself, my hands getting, like, if I'm trying to grip a knife, right? And I don't have one that's even, well, yeah, this one would be better. The PM2 would be better. I'm on a lot of Isham's designs right here that kind of curve around, right? When I find myself gripping them, I feel like my fingers are being kind of almost like forced up into that area, and I don't find them comfortable. I don't find them comfortable. For me. That's just me.
Yeah, I guess.
So,
no. I don't know. I have, I wear a medium-sized glove, and so I don't have that problem.
Right.
But I don't know.
I know a lot of people with bigger hands that like them.
All comes down to preference.
It is. I mean, that's everything. That's what it is with everything. It's like, because I had some, let's see, what were we talking about? It might have been the Damascus. It might have been the whole Damascus debate, and people were like, really? You don't? I'm just like, yeah, it's just not my, it's just like, the big heavy knives or the chunky knives that from Medford, it's personal preference. That's all it is. It has absolutely nothing to do with the functionality. Every Isham knife that I've held has been a very well-built knife. They just have been. Whether it's been, Civivi, whatever. They've all been well made, and they all do the job they're supposed to do.
Yes.
It's just, not my thing. Some people like Benchmade. Some people like Spyderco. Whatever. That's just whatever it is. It's just, yeah.
And then Elijah also works with a lot of just good companies.
Oh, sure.
For quality, Kaiser, Civivi, Civivi and we are together, but they're just all good companies. They make well-made knives.
Oh yeah, yeah, and he's done he's done a couple with Best Tech.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's done a couple with Best Tech. I mean, he works with companies that make good knives, but it just all comes down to design.
Definitely.
And that's kind of like, Tanto. I'm not crazy about Tanto blades. Do they work? Yeah. Do they have a purpose? Yeah. Serrated blades. Do they work? Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hate serrations.
Do they have a purpose? Mm-hmm. Are they my thing? No. It's just...
They bother me. They really bother me. I do not like serrations. Especially as a guy, people are like, oh, serrations are always sharp. But you know what? I enjoy sharpening knives. I have a small sharpening business.
Right.
And so plain edge, nicer. You can get a nice mirror polish on them. They cut smoother. They work for me.
Sure.
But
Now,
onto
I
the
will admit, Veth Serrations. You familiar with Veth
yes,
Serrations?
CRKT, right?
Yeah. Now, they're wow aggressive and
They're weird. They're weird looking. They look like they would cut like a saw, or at least on the pull stroke.
Yeah, they're very aggressive and they're very large serrations, but they do look kind of cool.
They do indeed.
That's the only kind of really the only kind of serrations I like. Now, do I have any knives with them? No, I don't. But
I don't either.
what do you think of that Kubi?
The Kubi, I reviewed it 2 weeks ago. I don't know.
Yep.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, good.
I do. I've handled 3 Kubi knives and I have liked all of them. They're good quality, usually good materials.
Mm-hmm.
Oz 10 I'm not a huge fan of.
Okay.
But D2 I do like, or I like it on budget knives, not on a Medford.
Right. I hear you.
And you know what? Their designs are good. If it's a hand well, good action, easy access to the liner, it's just nice.
That's the 237, isn't it?
233?
233.
No, 233 is the one going around in the pass round.
Right.
230. You know what? It's on my channel.
That's the 37 or the 39, I think.
It is the 37. You're right.
When the numbers just confuse me. That's like 2 Sun knives. I'm just like, I like that one, and I point at it. I can never remember the number. I can remember the 128. That's the little the Dynamo. That's the little Teppy design one. I really like that little knife.
I have no clue because I don't know numbers.
I know. I know. And
actually, with ZT, I know a few of their knives by number.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's just because ZT just has good marketing.
Right.
But yeah, numbers are hard for me. Names I remember, right?
Yeah.
Numbers, they don't stick.
Now, see that one. I mean, there again, it's a good knife. It's well made and stuff. But then again, it's a Tanto and just not. It doesn't draw me in,
Before I had tried a Tanto, this was my first experience with a Tanto.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Okay.
It's my first experience with the Tanto. I don't like the look of Tantos, and I thought I would hate Tantos. Okay.
Yep.
I carried it, and I realized how useful they are just for opening packages and just cutting stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they are. Without.
I mean, they're good to cut with.
And they're like you said, it's a really good blade for opening packages. It's a really good blade for that. Because you've got the front edge, the front edge you can just they're perfect for that. Are they? But there again, this is me, plain old, I'm pretty plain old drop point. That's just that's what I like.
Well, I mean, look at the rest of the stuff on my table. I got ZT, Bradford.
Yep.
I got the tops all plain edge non-Tantos.
Yep.
And they work. There's nothing like that you need a Tanto for. It's just sometimes it can be a little nice.
Yeah.
And, let's be real here. I'm not doing any hard work with knives.
Right.
On a day-to-day basis, I'm usually cutting open some mail, usually a box with another knife.
Yeah.
Then, I mean, occasionally I'll either use a knife for really hard use that I shouldn't be using the knife for, or I'm just like barely using the knife.
Like digging an arrow out of a tree.
Exactly. Actually, I have there it is. I showed it a while ago. Remember it had a blade? Let me pull it out. It had a blade. It does not anymore. While I was prying an arrow out of some wood, I snapped the front of the blade.
Oh.
And so Tucson actually very generously sent a replacement blade that is actually coming on Saturday, which I'm really excited for because I've been waiting for like 2 months, month and a half. But you know what? It's coming Saturday, so it's all right.
Right on. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And then I also, actually on this knife, I experimented with with some heat anodization. It didn't turn out too well, but it's all right. What are your thoughts on that?
That don't look bad. It looks very similar to the Vulcan finish on the
Oh, you know what it
on
does?
the
I never thought about
Medford.
that. Yeah. Yeah, right in the center where it's kind of like, it looks like it's burnt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the Vulcan.
Yeah, it does kind of.
Yeah. This is a
No,
sweet knife here.
that's the one you said you broke the tip on.
Yeah.
No.
Remember I sent to you a picture with the tip snapped?
Oh, I'm sure you did. I'm
No,
sure you
it's all
did.
right. But it was in the group chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you may not have seen it, but I reground the entire blade so that it was essentially. Do you know what a razel is?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was essentially a razel. And then I don't even know where I put the razel blade because I didn't ever. I took it off just because I wanted to be ready to install the new blade. I don't know what I did with it.
Yeah, my Razel, I got one of the original. They're actually got a new one. They're releasing a new one now. It's
Yeah.
coming out for 2021. But I had one of the originals. And to be perfectly honest with you, that was one of the most frustrating knives I've ever owned.
Why?
Couldn't get it centered. Not that centering's a huge deal to me, but I couldn't get it centered. I tried to get it tight, and I always had blade play, and it just ended up being frustrating. It ended up being a frustrating knife, and I guess that kind of fits with my mo towards
Yeah.
CRKT. I don't know. CRKT has a tendency to frustrate me. I don't know. It's just but anyway. So yeah, it got relegated to being a lawnmower scraper. I just said
Yeah.
screw this, and
But
it
the blade
was.
shape works for that, right?
Oh, it works great for that.
Yeah, the blade shape works great.
It does.
I had it.
It does.
I had that blade shape not on a CRK CRK. Wow, woo, CRKT knife. I had it on a custom fixed blade. And I carried that for a while. I actually EDC'd it as a fixed blade, or not as I EDC'd the fixed blade, and it worked well. It just worked. The second, I guess grind you would call it, or second edge.
Mm-hmm.
I use it a lot. You might be surprised to cut cheese, and salami.
Really?
Just to push straight down on it, just to push straight down, and it worked really well to cut thin slices of cheese and salami.
Right on. Well, hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah.
It looks
only
like
problem, only problem I had with it, for some reason, I cut a sausage with it, and it was 1095 steel,
Mm-hmm.
uncoated, and it stained. Like I cut a sausage, and it stained the steel blue.
Really?
Really, like there was just like a blue, little blue streak in it. I don't know. I haven't
That's
had that happen
interesting.
on any knife.
Yeah, I can't say I've had that happen either. So hey, it looks like we might have somebody else wanting to join.
Who is it, Kyle?
Yeah. Let me see if I
Oh
can
yeah,
get him in here. Let's see if I can get him in here.
you might have to. Let me
Yeah.
change the knives on my plate here. Let's see. I will put a para 3 out on camera. Tops in the center.
There you go.
ZT. And then why not put the Medford on bottom?
Yeah, I'll send him an invite. We'll see if we'll get him in here.
All right.
Chat with Kyle for a while. But let's see what else. Oh yeah, you got the para 3 up there. Is that standard? What's the blade steel on that one?
S35.
That's 35. Right on.
And the para 3 was actually para 3 I got 2 years ago. many of you know, I'm relatively new to the knife world. I started my channel a little under a year, or not little under. I started my channel about 9 months ago. And so Para 3 I got a year or two ago, I think. And it really kind of sparked my knives. It really got me interested in it. It really got me doing research, learning more about steels, companies, manufacturers, things like that. Because before this, all I had was my Gerber that you all have seen before.
Oh yeah.
That I should probably be ashamed to show on camera. But this knife. And then after this, I got a Kershaw Leak. Kershaw Leak was my first knife that I carried.
Yeah.
And then I went straight from the Kershaw Leak to the S35 VN Para 3. And that really took off from there.
Right on. Hey, whatever gets you started, man. Whatever gets you going in the hobby, or however you wanna. That's
Yeah, for sure.
Whatever gets you going.
And I've come close to selling the Para 3 for, multiple times, just because I don't carry it very often anymore. If I don't carry a knife, I'm usually going to sell it, just because my collection's a working collection. If I own it, I'm going to carry it and use it. Although some knives I do, use less. But it just hasn't been finding its way into my pocket.
Okay.
But it was kind of my first, nice knife. That I saved up a while for it. It was a long time ago, and I wanted it, and so I don't think I'm ever having that leave my collection.
Oh, good. Yeah, I mean, I would hang on to it. It's a good. I mean, if it were me, I'll just.
Yeah, of course.
I would definitely do it. I would definitely hang on to it.
And it's good to have, and I still do carry and enjoy it from time to time. It's just that sometimes I'm carrying other things like a Bradford an M390 or a Z-Teen 20CV, or it's a little bit big in the pocket, I guess you could say, because when it's closed, let me show you the profile compared to this Kubi.
Okay.
That's on camera. It's wide in the pocket.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Spydercos have a tendency to be. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then, you know what? I don't carry anything in my right pocket but my knife. Or actually, that's not true. I carry my phone in my left pocket, and then everything else goes in my right pocket. But usually I just have my phone and knife on me.
Primarily, I just have my knife in that pocket. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I had I just got a new phone, but recently, on my previous phone, I carried it same pocket as my knife, right pocket, and I don't know how, but I ended up cracking my phone screen.
Oh really?
Yeah. And so now just not doing that again.
Yeah. I did that. I had my phone in my back pocket. And
sit down.
Yeah, it was in there, and I got out of the truck, and I got out of the truck just wrong.
Yeah.
And tweaked it just enough, and oh yeah, did a number on the old screen.
Yeah, that's no fun.
No. Oh, I shout out the invite to Kyle, so we'll see if he jumps in. But what else you got to show us, man? You got anything else?
Let's see. I've got my American Blade Works Model 1 V4.
There you go.
Let me pull that out.
That's a nice. I like that. I like that knife. There again.
I do too.
I like the overall profile of it.
It's a simple knife, which is one of my favorite
things. Oh yeah, exactly. That's why I like like Laconicos and stuff so much.
Oh yeah.
It's just simple. I love simple design knives.
And the ergonomics on this knife are amazing. I mean, it locks into your hand and stays there. You have no concern about it moving. It locks into your hand, which I really like.
Now you said that was the version 4, right?
Model 1, yeah, version 4.
Now I know, and
But this is one of the latest version 4s, right before the V5s.
Is that one? Does that one? Because I noticed the flipper tab looks.
It's got a small flipper tab on it. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's been turned down, and I know that's one of the things that he was working on.
It's like it's one of the V4s with the small folding tab.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, no, those are just, I really like them.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I really like. One, his name's Michael, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. He really takes attention to what people are saying. If there's a problem with one of his knives, he tries to fix it. And he's got this one simple design that seems to be really working well, that he just keeps improving and improving and improving, which I think's awesome because it's a great design that he's just perfecting.
Yeah. Well, and it's kind of like, I mean, and we see that kind of, you and I were talking about the goat,
Mm-hmm.
The versions of the knife have changed just a little bit. This is the goat version 2. You put out and you make little tweaks, and you don't completely change the knife or completely go in a whole different direction. Like on that one, you turn down the flipper tab just a little bit, and okay, it's an updated version. Good knife, same knife, just a little tweak to it.
But those little tweaks make it so much better,
They definitely can, without a doubt.
Now,
looks like we
Kyle.
might have Kyle with us now.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Kyle?
What's up, real?
Oh, not much. Just BSing about knives. How's it going?
Pretty good, man. You?
No, not too bad.
So you were showing that Olone goat.
Yeah.
Was it always a bolster lock, or was the version 1 or was the version 1 or just older version? I'm gonna say version 1.
Yeah.
Was it always a bolster lock, or was the version 1 a frame lock?
Pretty sure it was a bolster as well. I'm pretty sure the inset went all the way down. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I had it. I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I haven't handled anything from Olone, but the goat looks nice.
That would be the only one I have. This is the only one I've had from him. What about you, Kyle? Have you had any experience
with the goat?
Yeah, or Olone Knives period.
I've handled the goat before at the what's it called? There was a knife show out in Sac maybe about 5-6 months ago. I handled one, but that was about it.
Okay.
We're talking like 5 minutes, so.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have much of an opinion on it.
Right on. Very cool. So how you doing, man? What have you been up to?
Not too much, man. Recording content. I was slacking for a while there, so trying to get back in the groove of it.
Yeah. Got anything in particular you wanna show off or talk about, or that's just what we're here doing, man? We're just BSing about knives. That's all we're doing.
I mean, not really, to be honest. Pretty much everything I have is already on the channel or the Instagram.
Okay. Very cool. So let's see here. I got this one. Ronan Graves sent this one out here a while back. It's the I'm gonna screw it up because I always do. Skizliar. It's a wow. Yeah.
Skizliar. That's a weird name.
Skizliar Supreme. It's a Russian made knife, and it's kind of patterned after the Japanese.
Yeah.
Kind of the G10 is milled to result that Japanese wrap on a handle, and it's actually kind of a fun little knife. It's not a super dropper or anything like that, but it's really a fun little knife.
It looks cool.
I like the trailing point blade on it.
Yeah.
But it's the Whisper. That's the model on it.
Yeah, man, I gotta be honest. I actually love a lot of Russian makers and stuff. Not only just the Shiros, but the man, I'm blanking on the name. Jebikov Bear I got on the Serrations Knives Yakuza and a few other ones that are all Russian makers. Fantastic knives.
Now, see, this is really the first. I think it is maybe the first Russian-made knife I've really had any meaningful experience with. I haven't like a Shiro or anything like that. No. Haven't really had my hands on one. And I mean, just as initial impression, I mean, it's a well-built little knife, and you know, I need to get my hands on more Russian makers, because I hear people talk about them a lot, and it seems like in the custom world, it seems like the Russians have got a pretty good name for themselves. And it's just not, I mean, I don't have a lot of custom knives or much experience with a lot of the custom folders and stuff like that.
And you're talking to the right guy. You want me to send you a box? Let me know.
Yeah, you're more deep into the custom. Isn't that kind of where you kind of trend and stay into, or?
Generally, I definitely do buy productions too, but for the most part, I just like crazy designs, and most of the kind of crazier stuff you don't find as far as productions.
Sure.
I did just buy a ADV Alpha, which is production and a pretty crazy design. So I mean, it's not just customs, but for the most part, it's customs.
Right on. So now, and now you're talking about the Russian, like the Shiros and stuff like that. Give us your thoughts as far as like custom knives, since that's you've got a little bit more knowledge base as far as that goes.
As far as like custom knives in general, or just as far as the different makers from
makers.
Russia?
Give me, yeah. Let me know what you think.
So custom knives are this. Everybody has this impression that they're always fantastic and they're always everything's done perfect as it's done by hand. And that definitely does happen sometimes, but for the most part, you'll find a lot of hit and miss on stuff. So you have to be very careful with what you're buying. I've had knives that looked fantastic and get them in the hand, they don't work at all. So it's really kind of a hit and miss thing. Most of the Russian makers I've dealt with, which are primarily Chebikov knives, Seraphim knives, Yakuza, stuff like that, I've never really had issues with, but I've also been very careful with them and want to be aware of what I'm doing. Like Shiros are fantastic knives, but they're also really, really thin. So if you do have bigger hands like I do, they're not really going to work for you.
Okay. Right on. Now, what are some of the other like custom like who would you say is some of your favorite custom designers and makers?
Right now is Old Dominion Knife Works.
Okay. I've seen there again. Never handled. I've seen pictures of some of their designs, and it's not. They look pretty good as far as I can tell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have 5 of their designs so far. One of them's loaned out to DTO Knives and Gear. Another one's loaned out to Dirk. One's in for it's getting anode, like a custom job to it. The other ones are sent out to a buddy of mine who's local. I have the oh god, what's it called? Lycan Slenderman hybrid here. If you want to see it though.
You said you do have it with you?
Yeah, it's called the Lycan Slenderman hybrid. It's a very long name, but it's a good knife.
If you have it and can show it, that would be fantastic. Yeah, I'd love to see it.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
In the other room.
Yeah. I personally don't. I don't look into custom knives too much. Just because when you're reviewing a custom knife, it's custom, and so it's kind of a lot of the time a one-off piece. Not always, but I feel like if you're reviewing something that's somewhat of an individual knife,
yeah,
you're reviewing it for the purpose of not helping other people. Maybe you're saying, oh, this specific maker, makes great knives, but it's not as if other people not as if a large number of people can handle that specific knife.
I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. Now, like me, I haven't really delved into the custom world at all. I have a couple of custom fixed blades,
Yeah.
But as far as like custom folders or anything, no, not even remotely.
Custom folders also get Or you can get a nice custom fixed blade relatively inexpensively.
Yes.
Or at least relatively inexpensively compared to custom folders.
There's just a lot more. There's a lot more going on. I think
Yeah,
a lot more
of
going
course.
into them.
So
yeah, when you start talking custom knives, you're kind of you end up leaving me in the dust for the most part.
Yeah, same here.
All right, so this is the Old Dominion Knife Works Slenderman Lycan hybrid, giant ass
Oh wow!
5-inch blade.
That thing's massive.
Yeah, but the cool thing about it though is it actually retracts really nicely, and it deploys without any issue. So even though it's a giant ass blade.
Wow. Holy cow.
Yeah, I have that one. There's a couple other bigger ones. There's a giant one right now over on Dirk's channel. Dirk Weirney, you guys will see that on, I think it's tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And then I also mentioned Serrations Knives Yakuza. So that's this one.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
More of a dressy knife.
Sure.
Not really a front flipper guy, but this one just has the best action I've ever felt by far.
Wow.
So the only one I need.
Nice trailing point on it.
Yeah.
And then this is the Chebakov's Knives Bear I also mentioned about. The gigantic ass flipper.
That thing's pretty.
Yeah, that one. Now, see, we kind of had a discussion earlier. We were talking about Damascus, carbon fiber Damascus, and for me aesthetically, it doesn't work. It's like there's too much going on for me. I don't know why that is, but it's something that I don't know. I'm not smart enough to figure it out, or whatever the case may be. It's just it's just too much going on for me.
No, I definitely get it. As far as like Damascus on the blades, it's not really my thing. I don't mind bolsters, I don't mind scales, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as it being on the actual blade, it's not my thing. Carbon fiber has to be done right. I prefer it to be textured or to have a very interesting finish to it. For the most part, just basic carbon fiber, same thing. Not really my thing.
Yeah. Now I had a little, and I can't reach it, but the Ferrum Forge or Mini Archbishop. It was a carbon fiber, and apparently the carbon fiber was pretty slick on it. And I got it from Justin, OCD for EDC, and he actually like sandblasted, bead blasted the carbon fiber a little bit to kind of give it a little bit of texture. And I absolutely love the way that feels. It's still carbon fiber, but it's just got a little bit of texture to it. And I
really for me, carbon fiber, like honestly, even if it's polished, like this thing right here is polished red twill carbon fiber. The contouring is really, really important. So like if it's even remotely like kind of like a flatter design, it can slide off your hands.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But as long as it's actually contoured, like it fits just fine. It's never gone anywhere. Like
no,
carbon fiber is a weird material, man. I personally prefer micarta or titanium, but if you're gonna do carbon fiber, you gotta do it right.
Yeah. Now, what those scales on that? Who made those scales? Those are really
those were Shepherd CC on Instagram, Shepherd Custom Creations.
Okay, those are really, really interesting looking carbon fiber scales on that knife. Wow.
His books are currently closed because he has open heart surgery. So hopefully he feels better. But
oh my goodness, yeah, no kidding.
Fantastic stuff.
Wow, that's crazy. Oh my goodness. Let's see.
I got a question.
Yeah.
So, have you both handled TRM's Neutron with the or any of TRM's knives with their textured carbon fiber?
Yeah, I've handled the Atom and the I think it's the Shadow, the one that have kind of like the Axis lock type of thing.
Yeah, that one just came out recently. No.
Say again.
The Shadow just came out. No.
I had a prototype for a while there. I'm not really sure where it's at.
What are your thoughts on it? Because for me, it felt a little bit, I guess, it felt like a very dry scale. I don't know if that makes sense. It gave my hand just kind of a weird feeling.
So for me, it's the same thing, kind of like how my Carta is. My Carta is kind of a drier material. Over time, it does age though. Will carbon fiber age? Probably not. But it definitely is great for texture if you actually want to be able to hard use your knives. I didn't really hard use that knife, to be honest with you, man. But it felt all right. But the only other one I had from them was a red linen micarta scale for an atom. So I've never had it in either like polished carbon fiber or anything like that. So I can't really give you a comparison.
Gotcha.
No, I've never. I've never handled any of TRM's carbon fiber. I've had the micarta, which initially the micarta was pretty slick, but it broke in really nicely and got a really nice kind of feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
But the carbon fiber, no, I have not handled their carbon fiber.
I don't know. For me, their carbon fiber was a little bit too aggressive in texture. And so, I mean, I liked this. So you have a pair of 2 on screen.
Yeah.
Their G10s or Spyderco's G10 is relatively aggressive. On a lot of their knives.
Okay.
Yeah, but and I like that, but the texturing on the carbon fiber from TRM, or at least from their textured carbon fiber specifically, it was a little too much for me.
Really?
And then also the Neutron is what I had it on.
Right.
Or the Neutron 2. That one, it's a light use knife. It's a very, very, very thin blade, very, very thin handle scales. It's just a thin, slender knife. You're not using it on any hard tasks, right? You're not prying with it. Or you shouldn't pry with any knife, but sometimes you do. And so to have such aggressive gripping on such a light use knife didn't seem like it had such of a great function for me.
All right.
So the only thing I'll say about that is I think the whole like light use, heavy use knife is kind of subjective. Any piece that's actually made properly will stand up to heavy use. I mean, I've literally had knives on my channel I was throwing into my wall. Like, if it's made properly, it's going to survive. Like, at the end of the day, if you're using something like basically using it as a torsion bar, and something like that will snap it, prying, you're basically using a whole fulcrum and a lever principle. So you're putting a whole bunch of force on a very small piece of that blade, which is why it snapped. As far as just general use, I've never had a blade snap on me that I wasn't basically just abusing.
Yeah, in general use, I haven't either.
I have had a PM2 snap on me before. It's because the actual hole in the blade weakens it. But even that, I was being kind of stupid with it. So,
yeah, I can't say I've ever. I'm trying to think. I mean, no, I don't even think. Even when I was in the Navy, I mean, I did some pretty stupid stuff with a knife, and I never really snapped a knife or broke the tip off of one.
Really?
No, I mean, that's just my luck,
I mean, just for some serious abuse, not like you would ever actually use a knife this way. I just want to put something on camera.
you keep bringing that thing out, man.
I do, because it is hilarious.
I mean, to be fair, it's a Bear Grylls knife, so.
Oh yeah, and to give it some credit, I mean, my brother and I did hammer into a tree and beat it with a hatchet.
Okay.
Just so because
basically, it's a heater then.
My brother asked if he could try and break it. I didn't think he could, because it's got a decent blade stock. And so I didn't think he could break it, and so I just said, "Here, give it a go." Not expecting him to, he hammered it into a tree and straight up, and then beat it with a hatchet, and you can see it broke.
Just out of curiosity, was he hammering into the tree while saying "yap yap"?
He was not. Why?
Never mind.
What TV show? Before me.
It's an old joke. My bad.
It's all good.
I feel like an asshole now.
So did that knife dude, every time you put that knife out there, it just cracks me the heck up, man. I tell you what, that poor thing is like everything. It says everything you should not do with a knife. I mean,
it's exactly that.
But it's a good example of, hey, don't do this with your knife, I guess.
I mean, yeah. Notice how like the back portion where the pummel would be is kind of gone.
Yeah, there's a lot of portions. There's a lot of portions of that knife that are gone.
And there's about an inch of blade gone.
For all know, by just the pommel portion.
Oh yeah. Although the pommel actually didn't come off with a hatchet. The pommel flew off while I was batoning.
What?
Just the shock from hitting the blade broke the pommel.
Really?
Yeah, and so I don't recommend this knife at all. It's a pretty crap knife.
Bear Grylls knife.
Yeah, I mean it's to be expected.
Oh my
but
goodness.
I think it was my first knife, or my first fixed blade anyway. And so I just picked it because it looked badass and it was relatively inexpensive on Amazon.
Right.
And with all that being said, man, the Gerber strong arm is actually a great fixed blade. Graphic steel, I get that. I beat that thing to hell. I don't have it anymore. I kind of just threw it away, but it went through some hell.
Nothing near this, I can almost assure you.
That's stronger.
There's some videos online of people using that knife to like tear apart cars, and it still survives.
Really? Microtech has some pretty cool videos of like stabbing into like car doors and stuff. With their SOCOM, I think they're SOCOM Elite. I want to say.
Yep.
Microtech has some pretty cool stuff going on.
I don't know if
I
don't know if I would intentionally stab a Microtech into a car door, but hey, at least
probably not.
At least it can do it, I guess.
And I don't know. I was bouncing around this heretic and it flew into my door. You can actually see the mark right there.
Ooh, that's quite a mark. The only Microtech I've ever handled was a UTX 70. That was part of the Give Up Take a Knife pass around. And I only fidgeted with a little bit. I didn't carry it or anything, but it was pretty cool. And I've thought about buying one, or buying a automatic in general. I live in New Jersey, so the laws here on knives are A, confusing, and B, legal for all automatics. And so I wasn't sure if I wanted to spend, Microtechs are call it $200 and $200 to $300. If I wanted to spend that kind of money and then just risk getting it taken away by a cop.
Well,
I live in California, and OTFs are definitely legal here. I have been pulled over twice. The first time, I was more concerned about the fixed blade I had on my hip, which is completely legal here. And the second time, I helped them buy one. So, I mean, I definitely understand the legality thing, but I personally never had an issue with it. And I carry them all the time. I had 16 Microtechs. I have 7 right now.
Well, there again, as long as you're not out there being foolish with it, it's not, like here, they're not legal to carry here. Do I carry them? Sure. Every once in a while, I carry one with me. But
to be clear, this is not legal advice.
No, it is not. It is definitely not legal advice.
We are not lawyers.
No.
That guy on the internet one told me to do it.
No.
What you're talking about, sir.
No. Take monstrosity off camera.
You got to do your own thing. You got to definitely have to do your own thing. But no, I don't carry them very often. I just don't, and I don't. I have one OTF in my collection, and it's a little. I mean, it's just a little. I don't even know. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't even know what brand it is, because that tells you probably how good it is, right? I mean, seriously, but now I have a couple of, I have an LUDT, love that knife. Absolutely love that knife. Do I carry it?
Small for my hands.
What's that?
I said great action, but too small for my hands.
Really? LUDTs are?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's because it has kind of like the fat bottom thing, so it kind of.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So if it was all straight, it'd be fine because it has that kind of like curve into it. It's just smaller.
I get you. I get what you're saying. Yeah. I got you. And then I've got a Kershaw Launch 7. I have a couple, and I do carry them every once in a while. But now, see, I'm not big on OTFs. I'm just not there again. You know, that's my personal preference. I'm just not a big fan. If I would have one OTF in my collection, it would be a bounty hunter, just because.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bounty
I mean,
hunter.
that thing is sweet.
You know, I mean, that would be a Star Wars geek, whatever. Love Boba Fett. Okay, that I would have one just basically for that. Now, that's a lot of money to spend on a knife just to look at it or whatever. But whatever. I think we've all guilty of that at least maybe once.
For
You
sure.
know, just but no.
I use everything, and if I don't, it gets sold immediately.
Yeah, I have one knife right now in my collection that probably, well, it's not going to get used a whole lot, and that's the Casey Underwood artwork, Mini Crooked River.
Okay.
Just because of what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. With all that being said, though, if somebody else wants to like put it in a safe or be it as a showpiece, I don't judge anybody else.
Oh
Me
no.
personally, I just like beating shit up. Like
Yeah.
you
No,
staring at
Yeah.
it, more power to you.
Exactly. You know, people talk about, oh yeah, I have safe queens and stuff. Cool. If I have a knife, it's probably going to get used because that's why I have a knife, right? I mean, it's a tool. That's what it's for.
For sure.
But I will have to say that Casey Underwood, yeah, it's probably not going to get a whole lot of use. So.
All right, I'm gonna have to interrupt real quick. Sorry, guys.
No.
I've got dinner waiting for me. Thank you. This has been awesome as always. Fun doing this.
Well, I tell you what,
again sometime.
I am probably going to have to go myself, unfortunately. I just got a very interesting text that I should probably respond to. So, hey guys, I really appreciate you guys jumping on. I had something scheduled and it kind of fell through. So, as I do from time to time, I just throw out the invite in the group. And if somebody can jump on because I'm already set up, then, you know, why not? We'll talk about knives for a little while. But Justin, Kyle, thank you guys so much for jumping on and joining us for a little while. I know, Kyle, you just kind of got in here. I hate shutting things down on you so quick. But yeah, I think I have something here that I probably should attend to. So
no, you're completely fine.
All right. Hey, this is gonna post tomorrow morning, so just so you know, it'll be up tomorrow morning. So thanks a lot again, guys. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Justin, thank you. Kyle, thank you. Links will be down in the description, so you can check these guys out.
Thank you.